Hello, everyone. Judge Judy, the queen of courtroom television, has voiced her opinions on one of the most contentious cases in contemporary history involving the Menendez brothers. This is not possible. The boys who were found guilty of killing their parents in the late 1980s are once again in the news, and there is much discussion over Judge Judy's position on their release. This video will go over everything, including her opinions, the rationale behind her position, and the reasons this case has garnered international interest for such a long time. Be sure to watch it all the way through. You won't want to miss a second of it, I promise. One of the most famous murder trials in American history is the Menendez brothers case. Lyle and Eric Menendez were found guilty in 1989 of the horrifying murders of Gozi and Kitty Menendez at their home in Beverly Hills. The prosecution portrayed the murders as motivated by avarice and a desire to inherit their parents' wealth, while the defense contended that years of abuse at the hands of their father were the catalyst for the crimes. Public opinion is still divided on the issue, just as it was then. But now that Judge Judy has joined the discussion, everyone is talking about what she thinks. What is Judge Judy's opinion on the Menendez brothers, then? Judge Judy is renowned for being direct, having a keen legal mind, and rarely holding back when expressing her opinions. According to reports, she has questioned whether the brothers' penalty is appropriate for the crime, particularly in light of the abuse claims that formed the basis of their defense. Is it possible that she feels they have already received enough punishment for their actions? Or is she just doubting the justice system's objectivity? However, the discussion that has been going on for decades is being rekindled by her remarks. The Menendez brothers have been serving life sentences without the possibility of release for more than 30 years. Supporters have maintained for years that years of pain and terror were the cause of their horrible actions. They think that the brothers ought to have received a lighter sentence or maybe been released. However, some contend that there is no justification for the crime's cruelty in any situation. Judge Judy's comments have now intensified this already contentious dispute. Judge Judy's reputation for objectivity and her in-depth knowledge of the law contribute to her sound judgment. She has decided thousands of cases over the years and is known for administering justice in a direct and uncompromising way. People pay attention to what she has to say, and her opinions about the Menendez brothers are no exception. Her perspective is unquestionably significant, regardless of your position. Let's examine the reasons behind the ongoing discussion of this issue. On the one hand, the Menendez brothers' crime was unquestionably violent. The public was horrified when they shot their parents several times and then tried to hide it, leading many to believe that justice required the most severe penalty. However, some people see the brothers as both criminals and victims due to their allegations of abuse. In this case, we are forced to consider difficult issues of trauma, morality, and the justification for punishment. Judge Judy's remarks raise a crucial question. Should the facts surrounding the abuse or the prospect of rehabilitation cause us to see the Menendez brothers' behavior differently? The justice system has long been criticized for its callous handling of instances involving trauma and abuse. Some contend that a system that failed the boys failed to adequately consider the psychological constructs of their upbringing. Some people think that this kind of violence cannot be justified by any degree of abuse. Though there are no simple answers, Judge Judy's perspective has rekindled interest in this debate. The continued interest in real crime stories is another factor contributing to the case's continued relevance today. The Menendez brothers' narrative has been told innumerable times in documentaries and podcasts, each time posing new queries and providing novel viewpoints. Judge Judy's remarks give this story a deeper meaning and force us to consider forgiveness, justice, and the complexity of human nature from a different angle. Her remarks serve as a reminder that each case that makes the news involves actual people with relatable tales, and those tales ought to be fairly considered. Let's now discuss how the public responded to Judge Judy's opinions. It has been mixed, as you might expect. Others concur with her that the Menendez brothers should be given another chance after serving 30 years in prison. They contend that the legal system need to take into account how society's perception of trauma has changed over time. Some, on the other hand, vehemently disagree, contending that the brothers shouldn't be released due to the seriousness of their actions. Judge Judy's comments have heightened the already contentious debate. Judge Judy's perspective emphasizes the value of continuing discussions on issues like this, regardless of your own stance. The Menendez brothers' experience serves as a somber reminder that justice isn't always clear-cut, and that these problems can be complicated. It compels us to consider difficult subjects like atonement, retribution, and the possibility of real human progress. Even while there are no simple solutions, conversations like these are essential to a society that is more compassionate and just. Let's pause as we conclude to consider the wider picture. The Menendez brothers' case touches on more than simply two individuals and their behavior. It also touches on cultural norms, the legal system, and how we respond to incidents of abuse and suffering. Judge Judy's comments serve as a potent reminder that, despite the passage of many years, these topics are still worth looking into. Whether you agree with her or not, her perspective forces us to think critically about what justice actually means and have fruitful discussions about it. What do you think, then? Do you think the punishment meted out to the Menendez brothers was appropriate, or do you think they should be released? Does Judge Judy's viewpoint cause you to reconsider this case? I would be glad to hear your ideas, so please post them in the comment section below. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, share this video with your friends, and give it a thumbs up if you found it to be thought-provoking. Doing this will ensure that you don't miss any more stories like this one. We appreciate your time, but keep in mind that justice is a dynamic and multifaceted idea that can only be reinforced by candid discussion and in-depth investigation. Ask inquiries, stay thoughtful, and never give up until the next chance. I'll see you in the upcoming video.